Hello, welcome back to another solo vlog. It's actually Saturday the 1st of November, so you're not seeing this for a couple of weeks, but it's the most glorious autumn day. The sky is blue, the leaves are golden, the sun is out, and I'm taking myself out for a little solo day out. And the reason for this is actually because I've had a pretty shitty week, I can't lie. My mental health has been down the drain this week. I've had a very anxious week, which I'm not going to go into detail with. I'm starting to feel better. In fact, I'm feeling much better than I was a few days ago. But I've spent a lot of time in my flat this week, and I think I just want to get out and about, do something nice, get some fresh air. But I also don't particularly feel like socialising. I think I just want to be by myself and do some nice things that I really enjoy and take my own advice when it comes to self-care and looking after yourself. So my plan today, I'm in the car, I'm not driving by the way, keys are not in the ignition. My plan today is actually to go to Hampton Court Palace, which is, I don't actually know if it's technically in London or if it's technically in Surrey, but it's in the M25, which makes me think it must be technically London, but honestly who knows. But I haven't properly been to Hampton Court Palace before. The only time I've ever been was actually when I used to work for a charity. We had an event there. It was a charity for providing sort of play and entertainment and experiences for seriously ill children, and we had an event there, Christmas party basically, and that was in the greenhouse of Hampton Court Palace, which was amazing, but I didn't really get to see any of the palace. So initially I thought I wanted to get out of London, drive somewhere into like Sussex, and then I thought actually Hampton Court Palace is a really good option because it feels like you're outside of London, but it's not quite as far. It's only like 35-40 minutes to drive. You can also get there very easily by public transport. I just actually really fancy to drive. I really enjoy driving. This car is one of my little safe spaces. I think because I bought this car after a breakup. We used to share a car, and then after the breakup I was left without a car, so I bought this car by myself. It's all mine. And I don't know, it's just always been a little safe space for me. So I kind of just wanted to drive, either have the radio on or I am listening to Greg James's audiobook. I think it's called All the Best for the Future. And I adore Greg James on the radio. And I'm very much enjoying his book so far. I'm only on like chapter 2, but very good. So my plan is to go to Hampton Court Palace. I'm obviously going to explore the palace and the gardens. I definitely want to try and get a little cake and a coffee, maybe a decaf coffee, because I don't want to make myself anxious. But a cake and a coffee and something in a nice little cafe. I've brought my book, and then if I have time there is also an outdoor pool in another area of Bushy Park, which is the park that Hampton Court Palace is in. I'm gonna sneeze. Whoa, oh my gosh, apologies. As I was saying, there's a Lido in the park, so if I have time I think I'm going to go there. And also apparently it's heated, which sounds like a nice little treat because my Lido is most definitely not heated. In fact, it's 11 degrees and it's freezing. So I thought I would bring you along because I feel like this is really the kind of epitome of a solo self-care day. I feel like I really need the self-care today, and I want to prove to myself and to others that, you know, you can do that for yourself in a lovely way. So come along, let's go. Right, I have just parked up. I can't lie, parking was a bit of a bitch, so I would actually probably recommend getting the train here if you can, because the train station is right next to the palace. The traffic is busy. To be fair, I have planned this badly. I literally only decided this morning that I was going to come here. It's already 1 o'clock. The roads are full. The car parks are full, but it's fine. So yes, I was just driving around this tiny little car park for about 15 minutes waiting for a space, but I am a firm believer that if a car park is full, don't leave and try and find another car park, just stay and someone will leave. At some point you might have to wait for 15 minutes, but that's probably quicker than if you drove to another car park and then that one was full, blah blah blah. So I waited, and then I saw 2 people come in with their dogs and I was like, they're leaving, and I chased them out the car park. In a nice polite way of course, and I hopped on in there in front of another car that had only just got here. I was like, no, you wait your turn, I've been here for 15 minutes. Anyway, I got my space. I'm just walking across the green to the palace. feel like my friend Jess, who also has a YouTube channel by the way, I'll link it in the bio, would be very proud of me today because she loves the Tudors and she also has done most of the like fun history things in London, whereas I'm an uncultured swine and I've done very, very little. So Jess, this one's for you. I actually never studied the Tudors in school. I feel like when I was at school, they did like alternate years. So it'd be like one year it was the Tudors, the next year it was something else. And I was in one of the years that it wasn't the Tudors. And I really feel like I've missed out because everybody knows about the Tudors. And my knowledge is somewhat lacking, other than watching the show, The Tudors, which was brilliant. So I'm excited to learn a little bit more. It's already bloody gorgeous. So let's go for a little.
She was known as a clever, virtuous and amiable woman and became a friend and mentor to his children. They plotted to have her.
Already having the best time. There's a full-on picture of Henry there. It's so fascinating. I love stuff like this and I don't make enough time for it, so I'm having a very good time. Also, there's a free audio guide, so I'm learning lots and it's great. I just freaking love days out by myself. That's so fun. I'm having the best time. I've literally been here for an hour. I feel like I've learned so much. I just feel like calm. Honestly, this is exactly what I needed to do. And even though this morning I was a bit like, oh, do I really want to go and do something by myself? I am so glad I did. It's just so interesting and I feel like it's nice to feel like I'm not in central London. This is just fascinating. I already want to come back. I feel like I should have got here earlier because it's huge. Ooh, chocolate kitchen. We've got to go to the chocolate kitchen, but yeah, I'm just having a great time and very, very glad I did this. Okay, next up, I've just been consulting my map. It's got to be the kitchens. I don't want to miss that, so I'm going to go there now and then I'll head to the gardens after, I think, and potentially hunt down a little bit of cake. Oh, also because it was Halloween yesterday, there's like special, well, I assume they're for Halloween, like ghost things about like how Hampton Court Palace is haunted and there's people dressed as ghosts haunting the place, and it's all actually really quite impressive. Plus there's pumpkins and that sort of thing going on and some children screaming, although I don't think they're part of the palace. I think they're just children being children. Anyway, I'm at the kitchens, let's go. I love seeing like old menus like that, and it reminds me, I don't know if anybody else had this, I feel like it's potentially quite a British primary school thing, but in primary school we had a lady come in, it was called A Taste of History, and she used to cook dishes that were made in whatever historical period we were studying. So when we did the Romans, she came in and did what they would, and she made what they would eat in ancient Rome, and it was always like my favourite part of school ever. I thought it was so fascinating, and I still love seeing things like that today. A lot of meat here, a lot of meat going on. They've got all types of animals being cooked up. Can't imagine their bowels were very happy with that. Where's the fibre? Where's the fibre team? Come on. But yeah, it reminds me of that. Also reminds me of, did anybody watch the first, like the early series of Bake Off where they used to do like a historical bit in between? I think it was for the technical challenge. Like whatever the bake was, they would tell you the history of that bake. And I always used to love that. I've told you before, I used to watch every episode of Bake Off like 5 times and learnt a lot from those little segments. And this takes me straight back to that same mindset. Can you see the parakeets in the tree? There's one. And there's loads up there. Look at them all. They get so loud in the evenings. I was going to go to a cafe just outside of Hampton Court Palace Gardens, but to be honest, I actually couldn't figure out how to get out without fully leaving the whole place and then not being able to get back in. And there was a crepe van on site, so I've got myself a little ham and cheese crepe because they smelled so good. So I'm eating my ham and cheese crepe outside the palace. I'm sure this is exactly what Henry would have wanted. This is really an authentic Tudor meal, I'm sure. Very delicious nonetheless. It's really getting quite dark now, which is mad considering it's not even 4 o'clock, but I'm just finishing off a little walk around the gardens, and then I was going to go for a swim, but the pool's only open until 5. I think by the time I get there it'll be about 4:15, and also potentially pitch black, so I might save that for another day, which I'm actually fine with because that gives me an excuse to come back to this area. I wonder what's going on in that room up there. The only one with the lights on. They're not flickering in real life. That's just the camera. Spooky. I feel like I should have potentially told you some of the history of the palace, but part of me thinks that then ruins it for anybody that's going to come. Plus, if you're going to learn about the history of Hampton Court Palace from anybody, then I'm probably not the best person to do that because I've only learnt about it today. But I do think it's pretty incredible. I find history quite hard to comprehend sometimes, like that people were actually here 500-600 years ago, 500 years ago. I don't know why, I might be making this up, but I do feel like being here by myself has made me kind of be able to appreciate it a little bit more. I might be lying, this might be solo time propaganda from me, but I'm just very much enjoying it, and I would 100% come back, which you don't always find when you like pay to go somewhere. You think, okay, I've done it, but no, I'll be back. Right, I have just got home. I actually decided to go to the cinema on my way back because I missed the opportunity for swimming, but I wasn't quite ready to go home because it was only 5 o'clock, even though it was nearly dark. There was a film starting at the cinema near my house at 5. So I thought, why the heck not? And it was great, and I'm so glad I did. And I have just got home now. I'm gonna make myself a bowl of bolognese, and I think I might watch Strictly, or another film, or I might watch Slow Horses, because I haven't watched the new series yet. But I can't tell you how much better I feel. I have had such a good day. The only thing I would do differently is leave earlier, so I had longer there and so I could swim. But in some ways, I'm glad that I have an excuse to go back. It was just so nice, and I feel just much better in my mind and in my body and in my soul. So I don't know, maybe this could serve as a little reminder to take care of yourself, do things by yourself, for yourself, especially when you're maybe not feeling 100%, because you need to take care of yourself as well, and it will probably make you feel much better. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for another recipe video, and subscribe for many, many more solo days out, solo travel, all things taking care of yourself. Okay, bye.